Welcome, everybody. However many listeners we have right now, we have an interesting stream. Both Nick and Plutarch said, "Oh, they're looking forward to this one." Well, I am too. So I'm leading it tonight. Our theme is Return of the Jezebel. What does that mean? Well, in the red pill, it's talked about once in a while that, oh, she'll always come back. Okay. Yeah, that's the theme. But I got divorced from my first wife. She never came back. What does that mean? So let me bring up
Nick,
my notes.
or
Go
sorry,
ahead,
Steve.
Chris.
I'll tell you what it means. I can tell you that. I can give you the red pill answer right now. You weren't alpha. You weren't alpha man enough.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's the red pill answer.
All right, stream's
You
over.
weren't
We have the answer.
You weren't Jim Broing it enough, man.
Yeah, you weren't hustling hard enough.
Okay.
Stream's
So
over,
Return
guys.
of the Jezebel. Okay, the red pill has said that a woman always returns. Is this true? What if she's a Jezebel that rebelled against her husband, divorced him, made false allegations, had him jailed, imposed restraining orders, usurped custody of the children, and obtained significant child support and alimony?
Damn, that burns.
Will she return? Maybe. Or maybe not. It depends. Now, I just want to point something out. I chuckled at that answer because if you listen to whatever podcast where Andrew asks questions of the women, yes or no, it's always well, it depends. They can never give a straight answer. So just watch for that. Watch how often a woman says it depends. But in this case,
they got to keep their options always open, right?
Well, you can't know anything for certain, and generalizations might not be true. Therefore, you have to throw out the generalization because each situation is completely different than any other situation. So, what does it depend upon? Well, no, I don't think that's not money, Nick. Not really.
Not tingles?
No.
Not tingles? Not desperation?
Oh, bingo.
Well,
Okay,
I was going to
so
say that if it's money, it's like she already divorced him, got alimony, got child support. Like the state's mandating that money be given to her. So I don't see money as the likelihood one there.
yeah, well, my first ex was receiving money from me. She had no need for me. Why the hell would she come back then? She's getting everything she wanted.
Yeah, she can kick you to the curb to get all the money she needs.
Right. Does that happen, Nick? Or do women attempt that?
All the time. I mean, that's how the courts are set up, is to strip fathers of their rights and their legacy, suffer under false allegations, and make them walking ATMs, enslaved to the state.
Okay. So, there's, with all this tariff talk, on again, off again, is it going to be high inflation? Is manufacturing coming back? What about my job? I see stuff happening. I'm still having trouble making ends meet. There's a lot of talk about recession. Some already have said we are in a recession. We just haven't recognized it yet because what does it take 2 quarters of economic downturn before it's declared? So you're always in it before it's declared a recession.
That is the correct NBER definition, and yeah, basically you will be in a recession in 6 months before they acknowledge that it's a recession, and it can go on longer than that.
True. So we don't know if we're in a recession, but we know.
But we do know.
We're in a recession.
Economically, financially, there's a lot of people hurting. What if it gets really bad? In other words, SHTF. You guys know what that means. Or Iatawaki. That's the end of the world as we know it.
It's the end of the world as we know it. There you go.
So, what does that mean? Well, reduction or elimination of welfare programs. There's a lot of stuff going on by what's Elon Musk's department?
Doge.
Department
of Government Efficiency.
You know, they've been cutting things. They haven't gotten to the third rail yet, which is the welfare system and Social Security. But
well, they're there though. They 2 weeks ago, they went through the database and they took everybody with a birthday older than 120 and just marked them as dead. And so they stopped getting their benefits.
If they were getting benefits, that was never confirmed.
Right. We don't know if they were, but anybody who was, they're not getting them anymore.
So, okay. He's talking about increasing the military budget to $1 trillion. They're looking to save, I don't know, what was it, $1 trillion? Eventually, you might have to look at some of these transfer programs, such as SNAP, WIC, Section 8 housing, heating assistance, which is mainly state, but I'm sure the state is getting money from the federal government. And what happens if the husband loses, or the ex-husband loses his job and goes to court? And because things are so bad, the court is actually sympathetic and reduces or possibly ends the child support payment.
Wait. Okay, Steve. You just said the court is sympathetic. I'm talking. Things have to be really bad before the court gets sympathetic.
Hey, this could be an end of the world scenario.
But the feminists run this crap. It's like the radicals have seized the administrative state.
Okay, fine. But maybe law enforcement budgets are cut. So maybe there's less cops out there and crime went up. So they just got no time to enforce child support.
Now, and that I could see happen.
They just cut back on IRS agents. So could the system break down and the garnishment process just not
destroy
work?
It? It's got to be destroyed.
Okay, you know what?
Yeah.
These don't have to.
Wish, and then there's a reality, right?
These things do not have to be probable. Okay, they don't have to be likely. It's possible. Unlikely, but it's possible. Okay, that's enough for this discussion. What if there's a reform to Social Security programs? For instance, Title IV, which compensates or reimburses the counties for whatever monies they get from a father, an alienated father, that money comes out of the Social Security program. Social Security's not in good shape. So they might say, oh, we don't have money to do that anymore. States, you're on your own. It's possible. Okay, so these are, well, should we call these?
So, Steve, you're telling me that these fat ledge butts that go to Walmart, get all that SNAP benefits, won't get to buy their fudge rounds anymore? Yes, it's a song reference.
Well, maybe.
Well, I've part of the Maha thing that RFK wants to do is cutting off the SNAP benefits to buy any food that you want, and there'd be like a list of things that they can buy with it, and if they buy anything else, they have to pay cash. And I know he's trying to do that. So yes, Nick.
Do you know what?
Ain't gonna get them fudge rounds no more.
What do economists call these type of things?
Liabilities?
No, it's an exogenous event.
Correct. Okay, if you guys want to know the actual term that an economist is going to use to describe this, because economists are math freaks, the actual term is unit root. If you want to see an economist just go into instant flop sweat and their knees start to buckle, just utter the words unit root.
So there's all kinds of models, and the economists have got this all mapped out. They got a model for how the world, society, economics, the transfer payment, all this shit, how it all is supposed to work. When at some it never works the way they say. What is their constant excuse? Well, it wasn't the model's fault. It was something outside the model that changed.
By the way, this happened in 2008. There was a unit root event in 2008. I think I mentioned him in the last video. There's a guy named Jeff Snyder who's actually mapped out what happened and what the unit root was. And we have never gotten back to the trajectory that we were on pre-2008, even to this day.
So
economists, fuck them.
To summarize this, yeah, when she's desperate, economically desperate, she might come back.
When there's a return to the natural order?
Yeah, maybe it's trending in that way. What's the other thing that might cause her to come back? Repentance. Now,
we said it takes an act of God. This takes an act of God. It's in the definition, actually, in the Westminster Confession. It's an act of God, right? This cannot take place without an act of God.
Yes, we said that the stuff with the economics and cutting benefits and what would happen there, that was extremely nah, that's not going to happen. You know what? This is even less likely. Repentance. Why is it less likely? Yes. Well,
yeah,
you have to be accountable.
But Steve, Nala proved that it doesn't take anything. All you have to do is say the right magic words and everything will work out for you.
Yeah, so are you going to believe her?
Not
it's
for
kind of
like
she played a get out of jail card. Oh, I'm redeemed now. Jesus forgave me.
I'll make more money gripping that crap.
Oh, she is.
She doesn't have accountability. She didn't really acknowledge her error. How do you know? Oh, does she have any remorse?
No.
Fake, I think.
Or another word for remorse is contrition. She's sorry for all those men that she caused to sin through showing her butthole or whatever?
The answer is no, and we know this because she still posts the same kind of content she was posting before, just with clothes on this time. So there's clothes on, which makes it okay for all of her old simps to keep watching. But then all the Christian simps can come in and they can watch too because she's fully clothed. They're not seeing anything, like and they and they can tell their wives, honey, I'm just watching a video about somebody making cinnamon buns or whatever the fuck those things were.
Hey, the cross makes it all okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. So did she make any restitution?
No.
Did she do anything in atonement for her past actions?
Not that I know of.
Did she refund any money to these men that she exploited their resources?
No, she had some excuse as to why she couldn't, and it basically worked out to I spent it all. And I can't, and giving it back would break me. Like, okay, that's fine. We accept your terms.
You know what? There's this thing called pennies on the dollar. Okay, so did she offer an apology or show any humility for her sinful ways?
Keeps going public when she should just shut up and live a quiet life.
Yeah, I don't know if she's actually offered an apology, but I do know that there's no humility because of what Nick said. She keeps going public. She keeps seeking attention. Look, if you're seeking attention, you are not finding humility. You are seeking self-aggrandizement.
So, Nick, in any branch of Christianity, in order to become saved, accept the gift of salvation, don't you have to make an apology to God, be accountable, show remorse, humility, make some amendments for your past behavior? Isn't that required no matter what kind of Christianity you're in?
Not in antinomian modern day evangelicalism. Modern day evangelicalism is antinomian to the core, anti-law. So all they have to do is say, Jesus saved me, and all my life doesn't really matter. I'm just indwelt by the Spirit, and Jesus just loves me no matter what I did in the past, no matter what I do now. And you guys are just not, you guys are just Pharisees for saying that the moral law still applies to me, that I should be apologetic, repentant, and have humility. That's antinomianism.
Okay. So her coming back because of true repentance just doesn't happen. I've not seen this. She might come back with a Nala narrative. Notice I said narrative. It's a story. It's kind of rethinking Christianity, putting on a clean dress and saying, "Oh, now I'm a trad."
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly when. It was in the late 90s or early 2000s, but there was this trend of these rom-coms where this was basically the storyline. She would go off, she'd be a whore for a while, but then she would come back and she'd say, "Oh, I recognize now that what I did was this horrible thing and I want you." And the men, of course, just bought it up and, took them back. There was like a whole rash of these rom-coms back then. Are you saying that this can happen again?
Yeah, could be a false repentance.
Hey,
yeah.
we need to be like Hosea and marry wife up these prostitutes, and when they go off, we need to bring them back.
Yeah.
Shoe got it. Yes, Shoe. That's one of the ones I was thinking.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
But yeah, this doesn't work, guys. I got some Bible passages we'll get to like whenever we do that. But
okay,
guys,
so
no.
we've gone through 2. The other thing is no other men want her, or other men she's been with, and been with. They used her and they throw her away.
Okay, so these are usually women, late 20s, all the way into their 40s, right?
Sure.
They had their window of opportunity. They had all the attention. They dumped up. They went with the bad boys and blah blah blah. Or they might have had a good guy, but they still wanted to, travel the world, right? And have all these experiences. But it's not a war. I didn't get run through. Yeah, bullshit.
So this would be, she regrets the divorce. Now we're actually seeing a few women go on TikTok and stream about this. Oh, yeah, he was a good man. I divorced him. I messed up. I regret the divorce. Well, no, she regrets the consequences of the divorce.
Ding, ding, ding.
She regrets the outcome, not the action, not her action. She's not taking accountability for the action. She's just sorry about the circumstances that she now is in. So
yes.
So what's she doing now? Well, part of this, she's not being accountable. So you got to blame somebody. There is blame, but it's not her. So you can blame other men, blame men in general.
A tale as old as time.
Well, and we've been dealing with this a lot. And you still see all the TikToks put out about how it's the single mommies. Well, why won't these guys wife me up? Or nobody wants to date me. Or, I mean, you guys know the narratives, but this blame men thing has been around for a long time. Now we're starting to see a pickup in the next one, but blame men's going to be very popular for a long time because it's been effective for decades, probably since the 60s. So this one's going to keep going.
You don't have to be. It's not just the divorced women who blame men. It's the women who want to get married, but there's no good men out there. And there's all these MGTOWs. We'll blame the MGTOWs.
Yeah, there it is. Yep.
Again, tactic. Eat, fly, pray, Chad, find a good man.
So the next thing, she's going to blame society. It's not her, it's society. It's her upbringing. It's the feminist bullshit that she was taught in college. It's all her friends who said this would work out. And then there's a combination of men and society. Those two together, and what do you get? The patriarchy. It's the patriarchy's fault.
Well, I also
the patriarchy.
So I also see blame society as a little bit of what's driving the trad wife LARP.
Yeah.
So yes, the libs and feminists and whatnot, they're going to blame the patriarchy, but the trad wife LARP is kind of the right wing version of that, because what they would say is, well, we are trying to show that society is at fault by demonstrating something else. And look, I'm not going to say good or bad on that, because there will be good things that come out of it, but it's a reaction to, it's an attempt to shame society, where the left is more blaming society, the right is shaming society. Well, here's the thing. Neither side of you are going to solve the problem, because neither one of you is actually addressing the root cause. You're one's just trying to blame and the other one's just trying to shame and hoping that society just picks itself out of the mud.
So, yeah, okay, with all this blaming of others, is she going to tell the truth? No.
Oh.
No, that would mean that we'd be back up in that repentance category. No, not going to happen. No, a new narrative. She'll develop a new narrative, a new story that explains everything about why she's why she is where she is, and how it wasn't her fault, and it just things happened to her. It was caused. And we see this lots of single women piss away their 20s, having fun. And then as they approach 30, what does the red pill call that?
Penny.
The wall.
Phase.
The wall. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So when she gets close to the wall, she develops a new narrative. And she tells that to the world. She tells it to her hopeful future husband, the simp.
Okay,
and
guys.
does he believe her?
Most of them do.
I saw this in real time the other night when I was watching the Astros game again. This other girl, sitting on the opposite side of the girl that was next to me, she was saying how she was the stripper, did all these bad things, blah, blah, blah. I just graduated my nursing degree. Yeah, red flag. Anyways.
Oh.
Then she goes, talks to the doorman. He's like, "Oh, I'm a good Christian woman." Tries to act very traditional, develop this narrative, and says, "I'll wear your hat." He had a cowboy hat on. She was talking about, writing and stuff. Yeah. Stay far away, guys. That's the new narrative.
So
do you think she also might have been a horse girl?
Yeah.
just trifecta there, right? Stripper, nurse, horse girl. Like there's your slut trifecta.
Well, she's traditional, but she found God, right?
Right.
Well, she had a kid. She also had like a kid, maybe two, but
they all
yeah.
do.
What was she looking for?
So
developing a new narrative to get a new man to protect, provide.
Well, again, the new narrative is also trad wife is a new narrative, and we're also seeing a new narrative out of the left on, they have their traditional narratives about the patriarchy and whatnot, but there's a new narrative that's I'm starting to see signs of that basically says that men need to do more to support women and to support effort, to support the efforts of the matriarchy. Men need to work. It's actually ironically a bit of red pill for the left in terms of, and by red pill I mean red pill hustle culture they're starting to recognize that they need to get men on board with helping the matriarchy. So they're starting to say, we need David Hogg, if you know that name. He's one of the guys fighting for this. He's a big anti-2A guy, but he's saying, "Oh yeah, we need to get the men on board and because that's how they're planning on fighting the whole 2A thing, is getting men to believe that 2A is evil." But it's like they're starting to recognize that they need a new narrative around men, in part because the red pill has been so successful in reaching men.
Went mainstream.
So this last one is specifically to the man she discarded and the new narrative around him. Okay, she's going to have to blame him for what he did, and it really wasn't her fault. For instance, if Nick's wife came back, one of the things she might do is, Nick, you were a misogynist. You were mean. You didn't listen to me. I just had to leave. Now, I am checking back with you to see if you've seen the error of your ways, reformed yourself, and are you willing to give me an apology to get me back? Okay.
If the door hits your butt on the way out.
But you can see a woman coming up with this this attempt.
It would be
I know
mixed.
from personal experience.
Well,
especially this past week and a half. Yeah.
If they do that, it's going to be mixed with. I saw this happen in other divorces. Didn't happen in mine, thank God. But when they come and they check back, they will also say things like, "Well, didn't you love me?" Or you loved me for insert number of years of relationship, right? Wasn't that worth something to you? Didn't that mean something to you?
You made a promise in your wedding vows that you would love me forever.
Yep.
Are you still Christian? Just because I did something wrong, does that allow you? Is God going to let you just off scot-free? You're required to take me back.
Oh, I saw that in the church, yeah, all the time.
Okay. No. What story is she going to use? Bible story about you're required to take me back.
Hosea. They go to Hosea every time.
Okay. I'm not prepared for that one. I'm prepared for the other one.
Which one's that?
It's the next thing in my notes.
Oh.
We'll get to Hosea. Okay. Nick can have that part. The parable of the prodigal son.